Good afternoon, everyone. And once again, hello from here in London and my podcast, Spiritual Infinity. And today, my guest is Laura Giles. And Laura is a trauma therapist and analyst, and she does other things as well. But she's going to tell us today her journey, how she connected to her spirituality, what got her there, how she handled her life, how she used that spirituality to bring her to where she is today, and the trauma that she went through, and how she's helping people. But this is her story, so I'll hand you over to Laura. Laura, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
That's fine. So today is about your journey. Tell us what you went through and how you coped, what happened, and how you became a trauma therapist.
It's kind of funny to talk about your own story because, you have to pick out what is significant. And I think a lot of people focus on the horrible things that happened.
Mhm.
And I really focus on the wonderful things that happened. I had a really great childhood. I grew up with lots of siblings. My mom was at home. I lived in the kind of neighborhood where most moms were at home. So I didn't have just somebody at home. We roamed the neighborhood freely. And if something went down up the street, my mom would know about it before I got there. It was that kind of place. So that is really, really just sacred in my heart. And I always think about that whole time as my sacred place. But at the same time, I was bullied in school. There was nobody that looked like us. And, when you're different, that's just what kids do. It's the pecking order thing. Uh-huh.
I put my hand up there because you say when nobody looked like you and you got pecking, you're absolutely beautiful. What's so different about you? Why? Well, what nationality? What's your background?
Well, so there was either white people or black people.
Uh-huh.
And there was nobody who was something else. So people guessed. It's like, okay, you're not exactly this, you're not exactly that. What's going on there? And then you had Cher, so are you Cherokee? That was one of the things. Or people would say Bruce Lee, are you like Bruce? So they just didn't really know. They just know that you're not like us.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it was good in a way because they didn't know, that opened some doors, but it also closed other ones.
Okay.
And so I was picked on, and it was strange too because the same people who picked on me would be my friends. If it was third period, they would be friendly, and then fourth period they weren't. So I never knew. It was crazy. I know it wasn't like they were these people. They were different people in different settings. It was girls. Mean girls.
Oh, what can I just say? What age were you at that time?
Oh, it was from first grade on up, all throughout school.
When you say first grade, because I'm in London, we do things slightly different.
Mm.
So people living, what would you say first grade is what age?
6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not very nice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it was very unpredictable. I just never knew. Even my best friend, she ran in different crowds. I wasn't her only friend.
No.
And when I was in 6th grade, she was with one of her other crowds, and I happened to meet her on the street. And I was with another friend of mine, and they held my friend down while the rest of them ganged up on me. And it was heartbreaking because she was my best friend. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
when I never thought of it as bullying though, because for me, it was this happened in this moment and the moment passes, it's over. I didn't really hold on to it until I was well into adulthood. And one of my friends was a bullying coordinator. That's what she did for school. And we were talking about growing up, and she looks at me and she goes, "You were bullied." And I'm like, "No, I wasn't." She was like, "Yes, that's the definition of bullied." And I never thought about it because I think in order to be bullied, you have to have your power taken away. And I never felt powerless. I just felt like I never felt like it was personal. I'm a bad person, so you're doing this to me and I deserve it. It wasn't like that. But it was still, I was singled
You
out.
you just took it as the norm. So,
Well, it was the norm. I mean, it started when I was 6.
yeah. So to you, you grew up. That's just that way things are. How sad.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. But I did have a lot of resilience. I had love at home. I had my family's high touch. And I grew up animist. So, animist is the belief that everything is alive, sacred, and connected. And my mom comes from that culture. So, she grew up in the atmosphere of that. I didn't grow up in that atmosphere, but I grew up with her.
Yeah.
So that was hugely informative in resilience, I think. And so when I was going to school, I fell into it really. I didn't say, "Oh, I have to be a trauma therapist." I just felt like people didn't make sense. It
Mhm.
didn't make sense to me how somebody could be friendly at lunchtime and then you see them an hour later and they were just wicked. And so when I I know, right?
That's what he says. Yeah.
So when I got into my first psychology class, it started clicking. I'm an INTJ. I see patterns, and I just started seeing the patterns in human behavior, and it became predictable and really fascinating to me. And I'm like, okay. And the more I got into it, the more that trauma became an attractive thing to me because I like to put things in order. I like chaos. Chaos is really stimulating, but what I really like about chaos is putting it back in order. And so this is kind of a way of doing that.
Good. You just say you're NTJ. Can you say what that is?
So INTJ female is the rarest Myers-Briggs type. INFJ is the rarest type. So there's not a lot of people. So Myers-Briggs measures the way that you think. So it's a cognitive thing. And so I don't think like most people. Um, and I don't know, it just gives me a different way of looking at the world. So to me, when I see something that is not working well, I don't necessarily pathologize it. It's just like, oh, if you tweak that here, it'll be in order and then it'll function better. And so for me, trauma is not about judging people like you did a bad thing, you're a bad person. It's just like, hey, let's move this around a little bit and make it work better.
Work. That's it.
Yeah.
How we can put it right. Okay.
Mhm.
So please continue.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of people now who are turning to spirituality and they are seeing the interconnectedness in all things like plant medicine. You know, plants are here to feed us, they're here for medicine, they're here for all different kinds of things. And then when we interact with them in a way that is intentional for healing, that can happen. Energy medicine, same thing. There's lots and lots of different ways that we can heal ourselves from things that are not optimal if we engage in them. And there's ways that we can hurt things, which I think has been the norm for us, is that we exploit things. We use them as resources. We are separate from them. And
Yeah.
so life just becomes like a battle and everything's an enemy. And I don't think it has to be that way.
Because everything that is, and it is there for a reason, and
Yes.
everything that is has a life because we're all vibrating but at different frequencies, and
Right.
therefore we are all interconnected, all parts of there, and need to be respected, and it's there for
Absolutely.
us to use when we need to for our happiness, for our joy. It's like watching a beautiful flower or seeing a nice animal or a bird, not just taking things and destroying it for the sake
Yeah.
of sport.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
fear. I think a lot of us are driven by fear. You know, I
yeah,
think the bullying that happened to me is fear. This is something that's different. I don't understand it. It's a threat to me in some kind of way. And so let me kill it.
yeah. No, I don't understand it. Oh, it's different for me. It's not the norm.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
not part of us.
Hmm.
Yes, so much so. So what did you what did you do after, as a teenager, having to grow up with all this? How did that pan out for you?
Like I said, I didn't really focus on the negative things. I was always really curious. I'm a type of person that I run to things that I'm interested in versus running from things that scare me.
Yeah.
I'm also very present moment focused. So when you're present moment focused, there's not a lot of fear. because the fear is not happening now typically. It's what you think is going to happen. So I've done a lot of crazy things that looking back, I was like, oh my God, I should have been scared to death of that. And, by the time it was time to be scared, it was over. So,
Past
yeah.
the game. I made it.
Right, right, right. So I think I've had a lot of fun with life. Um, I take people on spiritual adventures to different places around the world to help facilitate that connection. And, that was just let me just do something different, a spur of the moment thing. And it's like, wow, this is really fantastic. I want to give more time to that. And most of my life really has been like that. It's just like, oh, let's see where this life or this road will lead. And then the things that have been fun, I spent more time there. And the things that haven't been fun, I just like, okay, that's enough for me. And so I don't really judge it. It's just like, what's behind this door? What's behind that door? And so I think when you do that, you have a full life. You get to know who you are, and nothing is really too horrible because you don't spend your time in it. You don't spend it, your mind's not there. It's like it's over. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. And I don't mean in an escapist way.
No, no,
I just
no.
mean like this moment is different.
Because the way your brain is geared and the way you see things is not in a morbid way. It's just that, oh, this doesn't work. Let's see what I can do to make it work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think it makes it really effective too in trauma work, because when people are having a trigger, it's typically not what's happening now. So the event that's happening now triggered it, but they're reliving the old thing.
okay.
And if we can get rid of that trigger, now this moment is not horrible. And most of us have a lifetime of that stuff.
You're right, and we don't realize it. Our life tells us a story in so many different ways that we don't recognize. So,
Yeah.
what led you from doing spiritual retreats and whatever into doing trauma work?
Well, so I started out, I was a reader when I was a kid. I was really fascinated by what we call the occult now. So anything that was weird, ghosts, Bigfoot, anything that was just weird, I'm like, tell me more about that. Because I like the stuff that there's not an answer to. If there's an answer to it, okay, here's the answer. It's
And
boring. I want to know,
yeah, of course.
tell me about the creepy stuff. And so the first thing that I ever did for a career was past life regression. So I'd read about that, people having past lives. I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. Have I had a past life? I really want to know about this. And I had a profound experience. And it just made me so curious. I wanted to know more and more and more. And how else to do that than regress other people, see what their experiences are. So I did that first. And then I went to college. And I thought, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just getting older and I hadn't started that yet. Mm-hmm.
As my finger goes up, I just need to take you back because you said you had a profound experience. Can you share that profound experience, please?
Yeah, it's not going to sound like much of a profound experience, but I was taken back. So I couldn't see anything. I couldn't. When most people do a regression, it's kind of like a movie. It moves a little bit and then stops, moves a little bit and then stops, but it's visual. I did not have that visual, and I still don't really today. Some people don't make pictures very readily. I'm one of those people. So I didn't see anything. It just was like kind of gray, smoky, but I had these feelings in my body. I dropped into this sensation of being this person. I couldn't tell if it was a male or a female. My body was really big and I had so much power. There was it was like I don't know if it was like a voodoo kind of power or a psychic power. It was power. And this power was charging through me and it was terrifying. And I didn't know, my sense was that I didn't necessarily use it in a good way. And that was terrifying as well. And I wasn't even in it like 5 minutes and I just started shaking and sweating and it took an hour to calm me down because I was like, it was just so in my body and so terrifying. And I thought, how could I have this experience? It wasn't me. It wasn't me in this time, in this place. How could that happen just by going back to the past?
Okay.
And I didn't ever want to go back to that again because it was terrifying. But I
Yeah.
did want to find out other things that were maybe not so terrifying. And
Fine.
every time I visited a place, it had immediate connection to my life in the present moment.
Mhm.
So, anything that I was not at peace with, well, there was a past life cause. It was there too.
Mhm.
People that I had good relationships with or not good relationships with, that was there too. And
Mhm.
so the takeaway that I got from it was be here this time, finish up your business this time so you don't have to carry that baggage lifetime to lifetime.
I'm so grateful for you saying that,
Yeah.
because working with people, and people, when you're working with people and they're going through so much, and you have to ease them into the idea that what they're going through is something that they created, not
Yeah.
necessarily in this lifetime, but previous lifetimes. And everything that we create, we must experience.
That's right.
And whether you think it's a good or bad, you feel it. And if
Yeah.
it's great, continue. And if it's not so great, what can you do differently, or don't
Right.
do it again? And so, as you say, if you can understand that, then in this lifetime, do the correction, the understanding,
Mhm.
whatever. And I'm glad you said that, because some people don't understand and they think, why me? Or what did I do? Why me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
not personal. It's just this is the energy that's within
yes,
you.
that's it. It's not a punishment. It's just
Yeah.
to say, this is what happened. How does it feel? Change it.
Hmm. Yeah. And the common thing that I found for myself and other people is that we are so disconnected. We're
Ah,
so alone. And I
yes,
saw that in myself. I've seen it in probably everybody that I've ever regressed.
yes.
And, when you're in a regression, it's kind of like watching a movie of
Mm-hmm.
your best friend because you are at a distance from it, but you have some emotional connection to it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like it's you. So you get some perspective. And when
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there watching myself, just be alone and be disconnected and not it's like sleepwalking over and over and over again, different situations, same old thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
other people doing it and other people doing it, and it's like this just doesn't even make sense. Why are we doing this?
Yes, yeah.
And so I made it a mission in my life personally to not do that.
Yeah. And that is because you understood, you started to
Yeah.
understand why. And
Yes.
this is why I say it, when you are working with somebody and you have to ease them into realizing that this is what you created,
Right.
and
Yeah.
for them to believe and understand, so that they can then do something different, change that, so that
Yes.
as they go on, it's a better, um,
Yes.
not a better situation, but I suppose better feedback. For whatever you do, there's a feedback, cause and effect.
Right.
Whatever
Yeah.
you do, you get a better effect, and you're continually growing to get better effects.
Yeah. And I think most of the things that we do to address our issues actually make the problem worse
Yeah,
because
we
because it's
don't.
fear-based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fear based, and because we're disconnected and we don't understand,
Yes.
so we
Yeah.
need to connect to
Yeah.
understand.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
if I just have enough money, then I can move to this neighborhood and it's going to be safe and I can build walls and I can put my kids in private school and I don't have to deal with blah blah blah. It does create that, but it doesn't make you any more connected. It makes you less connected because your heart is not open. So, one of the things that I found with third world travel and sacred travel, which typically we go to the third world, is those people don't have those issues because poverty is a great equalizer. So you have to learn how to get along with life and the poverty. And so it doesn't really matter as much. And they have an easier time of having their hearts open because everybody's in the same boat. So it's
yeah.
not like I'm looking at you going, oh gosh, I wish you were you. No, you're in the same boat I am.
And as you say that, poverty, you strip away everything and just
Yeah.
say, now deal with life. And the life we're in now is so materialistic, and we're
Yeah.
so much after the car, the house, the this, the that, and having this so-called great life, that it blinds us to what life really is. And the
Yeah.
fear of, we need this, we need that, we need it. We don't. We need
Yeah.
to listen, and we need to trust, we need to connect, and then be guided.
Yes. Yes. Because there's not enough money, there's not enough beauty, there's not enough thinness, there's not enough whatever to take the insecurity away and to fill your empty heart. There's
Yeah.
not never going to be enough. It has to come from within. The
Yes.
peace is already there. It's who
Yeah.
we all are.
Yeah.
So when your heart is open, it's easier to share that and it's easier to receive that. And then there is no disconnection. There never really was.
Thank you. There never really was. We have created that disconnection from our decisions and our choices that we made.
Yeah.
We've forgotten, and we need to remember.
Yes. Yes. And there's so many ways to do that, really. So I'm glad that it's becoming a mindset now, I think. Lots of people, maybe they're doing something in nature, maybe they're doing the spiritual travel or therapy, whatever. There's lots of ways to do that. And everybody clicks with something different. So God bless them all.
So, Laura, how did you come through to the trauma? What led you to looking at trauma, or getting into that path that you could see that in so many people and help them?
Well, so that was an accident too. I didn't choose it. I did choose um, psychology once I got into college because I was like fascinated by people. But I needed to get an internship in anything. It didn't really matter what it was, and it was we had to find our own. So I was like, okay, what can I get? And I went to the courthouse. I was looking at probation and parole. They didn't want to, for the same reason that the girls in school didn't want me. They didn't want me there either. They're like, your skirt's too short. You can't work with us. so, so the girl in domestic violence said, well, I'll take her. Would you want to come work with me? And I said, yes. And so I started off in trauma, and the need was so great and it was so rewarding. And I went from domestic violence to sexual assault, and they would give me, because I'm an intern, you wear out the intern. They would give me the hardest cases.
Yeah.
And they called them I can't remember what they called them, but it was kind of like the revolving door people. Like, this person's back again. They're never going to be helped, and the lost causes. So they would give me those people. And I loved them. I was like, "What? What? I don't understand the reaction to this person. This person is delightful. What do you mean?" And I think it was just that when you're traumatized, you don't trust people.
No.
And so you might put them through their paces to see, are you trustworthy? And
Mm.
so when they would test me, and I'm still here, and I'm not mad at you, and I'm not judging you, I'm not pushing you away, then they learned to trust me, and then we did really good work together.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to figure out that was the dynamic, because I just thought that, I mean, these people are beautifully honest. They're showing up. I don't understand what is it that you don't like about them. I thought they were great. And so I just love the population. Nobody wants to be hurt. They want to be helped. But if they don't feel safe enough with you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And I think your view, would say NGT, your view of looking at things has really put you in good step and in good
Yeah.
stead for this work, because you don't see it in the ways other people see it. You just see, well, this is it, how it is. This is not working, but these people are, we're all the same. So something
Yeah.
needs to be tweaked or done in a different way, and it'd be fine.
Right.
And that's
And it is.
your attitude actually helped you so much
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah. And if they don't want to do it, that's okay. I'm not here to make anybody do anything. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you need to do something else for a while. It's okay. I think everybody can choose their own path. And if you don't want to do it, if you don't feel safe enough to do it, whatever, it's okay.
Yeah, because some people are not ready, and that's
Yeah.
fine. She said, that's fine. They're not
Yep.
ready. They'll
Mhm.
get there eventually, but this is
Yes.
off.
Yeah.
So you did your internship, And where did that, well, I can see where it led you to. How did you move on from that? Because obviously you liked it, and that put you in a place that probably you didn't think about. And here you are.
Yeah, so actually it's been a circuitous route. So when I started in college, I took a 10-year break and
Mhm.
I became a professional belly dancer.
Oh, a
And
belly dancer.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And it might seem like it's not related, but actually it is because a lot of people who are attracted to that, it's so belly dance, obviously you're in your body and you're with the music and it's very expressive. And so that ended up being really therapeutic for me and for the people that I would perform for, the people that I taught how to do it, and just being that free and in your body and honest. And I noticed that my students were having cathartic experiences. And I'm like, you know what? This is therapy. I need to finish my therapy degree and do this like for real. So it came full circle and I came back to this and that's when I discovered the somatic component of therapy. So which is big now. Back then nobody was doing body work for therapy, but we are now. So everything that I've ever done, and I think everybody's life is like this, is that we are guided and we're given the pieces and it's up to us to put them together in a way that is meaningful and real for us. So I've done a lot of different things that seem like they have no relationship at all, but I've always been holistic. I've always been in touch with the land. I've always been in touch with the body and the music and the all of these things. And it is all connected. I think we're here to be whole. And when we
Yes.
can tap into that, then we get to use the best of ourselves to be ourselves and to help other people do the same thing.
You are so true. That, and this is what I keep on saying, I'm hearing it so much. Everything around us is alive, and it's for
Yeah.
us to tap into it
Hmm.
to get that vibration to guide us,
Yeah.
to show us we're not alone, and we have challenges, and there are things around us to help us over
Yeah.
those challenges.
Hmm.
But we need to be aware, respect them, understand them, and use them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one of the things that people ask me a lot is, am I off track? Am I too far behind? I took a
Mm,
10-year break, and I felt like I was off track. I was not doing the things that people my age were doing. And I was, as far as financially, I was way behind. I didn't have the career that other people had. I was not off track. I was doing exactly what I needed to do to be
exactly.
myself, to get the
Exactly.
skills that I needed, to get the confidence that I needed, to be in front of the people that I needed to be in front of, to be in the places in the world where I ended up traveling. All of that was purposeful. And I did it with intention and I did it mindfully. And so it was able to serve me later. I don't think we're ever off track. If you're homeless in a ditch, you are not off track. You're having the experience you need to have. And there are lessons in that.
Well said. Well said. I've just done a podcast, and this came up about intention.
Hmm.
What you say, you do it with intention. And once you follow that and you're guided, right, you stop for 10 years. You had to stop for 10 years. That's
Yeah,
what you were meant to do.
that's
And
right.
as you said, everything you did within that 10 years has added to your life, has
Absolutely.
enriched your life, and brought you to where you are now, that you can share that and you understand it even more. Because
Yeah, if
that
I had been,
about the body and the
yeah,
connection.
if I had started doing trauma therapy at 23, I didn't even have enough life experience at 23 to be of use to anybody. I don't know how long that would have lasted. I think I probably would have burnt out,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, that would not have been a good path for me.
And it is about experience, isn't it? Whatever
Yeah,
we do, it is about what we do and what then we then bring it to the table of what we are doing now to
yes,
enrich our lives and those of us and our community share, to understand, to give us that wisdom and that patience and that knowledge.
yeah, yeah. I think everybody's yearning for that, but it has to start with you. If
Definitely.
you're not connected to yourself, then you're not going to get it from anyone else or anything else.
Yeah, you're so right. It starts with us. We have
Hmm.
to make that connection. Only when we find that connection and we walk that path and we start to realize, and it brings us a greater wisdom and understanding
Yes.
and patience.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like coaches. I think everybody needs a hand, but you got to be your own best coach. You've got to, if because otherwise you're just giving your power away.
Yeah,
You got to make the decisions. You got to make the mistakes. You
yeah,
got to fix the problems. You have to see the problems, ask great questions,
yeah,
be in the game, have some skin in the game.
yeah, yeah. You have to. You have to ask those questions. You have to go through the journey. You cannot
Mhm.
not go and take the journey.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to be the person you're meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And do it mindfully. I have clients who struggle with addiction. And I don't ever tell anybody don't drink, don't use, don't cut, don't, do your thing, do it mindfully. And as soon as they start to do that, they're just like, this doesn't really work so well. And then they get it. Why
Yeah,
am I doing this? This doesn't feel good at all.
exactly. Yeah, you've got to hand them back the power to
Yeah.
realize, is this making you happy?
Yeah.
Is it producing the results that you want? And why not? Do you think, therefore, what you're doing is not the right thing for your life?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they get it pretty easily. Once they feel like they have permission, they have power, and it's okay. Just do you.
Yeah, it's so true. But the thing is, everything we're saying, as you work with people, you realize that, and it comes up time and time again until people are ready and
Yeah.
willing
Hmm.
to take that step to change their life and have what they want. It's no good saying you have to, you have to. They
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
They've got to
Right.
want to.
Yeah. But I think that goes true for beautiful things too, because you can hand somebody a lottery, a lottery win, and their life is a wreck in 10 minutes. If you can be at the most beautiful place, doing the most beautiful things, and if they don't have an open heart and can't accept it yet, then it's for nothing.
Yeah.
You have to be here, And at the same token, I think if you give somebody that and their heart is open, then it can be transformative. I've seen that happen a million times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they understand, here it is, what do I do? Oh my gosh. They're open to seeing not just what's in front of them, but beyond the bigger picture,
Yeah.
and looking at themselves and encompassing that.
Yeah. Yeah. We were once in England, actually, and a grove of yew trees, which can be amazing. And these trees were so alive and the energy was just so amazing. And it's like you cross the threshold and then you're with the trees and they're open and everybody could feel it. And it was like, oh my God, you're so tingly inside and just kind of held by the trees. And everybody just stopped talking and it was a sense of awe. And some of the people that were with us were not necessarily the most open-hearted people, but in that moment they were. And you could see the transformation. One of the girls went off and started writing poetry, and it was the most beautiful poetry. And I don't think that that was necessarily her. I think it was the combination of her and the trees and the moment and the earth and the everything.
Yeah.
And that is available all the time.
It's realizing that everything, including humankind, is energy
Yes.
vibrating at different frequencies.
Yes.
And when your vibration is able to connect with the other vibration around you, especially when you're in nature and greenery. I love nature and greenery because
Yeah.
I dislike being inside. I like being outside with green, with nature, under the sky, because it's like you connect, it just goes shoom, and you feel so much alive. And when
Yes.
you're inside, I call it the concrete jungle. It's like I think, oh
Yeah.
God, I this concrete jungle. But when you're outside in nature and you feel that vibration and you connect with it. And especially when there are times when maybe you're going through things, so you're asking a question and you need an answer. And I find when I go into my garden, it's like nature's just waiting for me to step in there, and then you get and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the reason. Oh, I understand that now. And just sitting and acknowledging nature around, saying hello and good morning and good afternoon, and realizing it's alive.
It
Everything's
is
alive.
alive. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And for me, I think it's because we can forget that we are nature. And it's just a return to ourselves, you know? It's like I'm going to plug in and be natural for a minute. And then all the worry and anxiety and all the falseness and, the stories and all that just goes away. And it's like, oh, I didn't need all that. I just, it's not even real.
No, it's it is, yet it's not. And it's for you to realize it's just a scene we're playing through to gain that knowledge and that wisdom. And everything around you has a beauty if we only understood it.
Yeah.
Something I need to ask you, and all through your life, it's come up from childhood to when you were at college to when you were doing your internship, who you are, what you look like. What is your background? What is your cultural background?
I am multicultural. Um, I guess you could say I'm American. I'm definitely American, but with some sauce thrown in. Because my mom really did influence me a lot, and she grew up in an animist society. She grew up very poor. My dad grew up poor for a while, and then he was adopted by a rich family. So there are a lot of influences that
But when you say your mother grew up, what I can say I'm black, but I've got Indian in me, I've got Portuguese in me, um, I've got a bit of Chinese in me. So eventually, I look back, I've got my family that mixed with white. Where are you coming from? What are your parents? I mean, I'm South American. I'm not even English, but that's it.
well, I guess one of the reasons why I don't really answer with ethnicities because I don't know that it tells you a lot, but I'll tell you. So I am multicultural. I am um Black, white, Native American, and Asian.
Fine.
Yeah.
For me, I said to you before we came on the podcast, I said, you're so beautiful. I can see that you're a mixture. I just want to know what the mixture was. Fine.
Yeah, my dad is mixed and I guess the influence. So my dad's parents are they are different races, but they're also different religions. And my grandmother on my dad's mom's side also she was engaged to somebody outside of her religion. So I think that the main thing for me was the fact that I feel like my ancestors were outside of the norm and that
Yeah,
they didn't play that race game, they didn't play that religion game.
you're
Oh, and there
black,
was also a socioeconomic, they went
yeah,
against that as well. So we didn't really have those divides, and I didn't really grow up with that as part of my mindset, which is another reason why I didn't really understand what the bullying was about.
as you said, the mixtures you have made you the way you look. Very nice mixtures.
Yeah.
Um, and and this is unfortunately um, the society we live in. If you don't look like them, you're weird, but you're not.
Yeah,
But life is opening up. Life is opening up now. And I say opening up now, those mixtures always were there. But
they
now,
always were.
and the connection and the internet and the TV and the films, they're now accepting all these and showing them and say, well, and people are traveling and realizing that, oh, we've got all these around, and realizing that we're human beings and we all have our own culture and our religion. That's fine. Um, At the end of the day, it's what's in the heart.
Yeah. And I
And how,
never saw any of that, any prejudice of any sort, socioeconomic, color, religion, none of that from any person in my family.
yeah,
Any person in my family. Not towards me and my siblings, we're all different colors.
yeah,
And so also growing up with that, where my family is all different colors.
yeah.
It's just like people are people. And so that was not my mindset at all, ever.
Because you grew up with this different mixture, it was normal.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, you've got those others who are just white,
Yeah.
American. When they see you, it's like, oh. And then you've got black race as we are, and we've had that from the whites, and probably thought, oh, but the world is the way it is. And there are so many different races, and we are who we are, and we're all beautiful in our own right.
Yeah.
But it's changing. As I say now, it's changing. So now, Laura, you've come round and you're doing the trauma and you're helping people and you're understanding so much, and because of the way you're wired, it's actually helped you to
Yeah.
look at people in different, it's an advantage.
I think
um
so.
yeah, my son does podcasts with ADHD, and he's ADHD, and we've realized so many people are ADHD, and it's just that they're wired differently, and they see things differently, and they react things differently, and in some instances it's very advantageous. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
some instances, we're all different, we all see things from a different, and if we could only sit down and understand and think, okay, and actually each one is a gift, and if we
Yeah.
understand how each gift uses, it can help to solve different things in different ways, and to solve so many situations within the world. I mean, if you want to make rice and peas, which is a food, West Indian Portuguese actually, but we have it in our country. If you want to make rice and peas, you don't put spinach and carrots together. You need the rice, you need the peas to make that dish. And if you want to make a side dish of greens, then you get the greens of it. And then when you put all the food together with rice and peas and greens and that and this one and that, it looks very nice and juicy, and it makes things so nice rather than just eating rice and peas.
Right. Yeah.
Can everybody understand that? I'm sure, because I like to describe things like that. I like to break it down. And life is that. It's wonderful, but
I
it's
agree.
taken time to understand that. And we're at a time now in the world where we're accepting all these different things and saying, no, you're not inferior, you're not this because you're white, or you're this and that. We all, there is good and bad in every race. There's rich and poor in every race. And we all have a say in this world and the creation or the way the world functions. And we all need to be listened to, because with all our individual thoughts, we can put it to right.
Yeah.
If only we're connected.
Yeah. And I think for me, the easiest way to do that, and this has been a habit of mine for a long time, maybe forever, I don't know, is instead of looking at the exterior things like color and socioeconomic, look for the light inside. Because if you look for the light inside, you find it. And then
And
that's the thing that stands out about a person. It's like, who are you? Who am I? Look for that light. It's not about any of the other stuff.
this is why I said to you, there are good and bad in every race.
Yeah.
The good and bad, I'm saying, is the light, the negativity.
Yeah. Hmm.
Look for the light, look for the heart, look for the way that person talks, speaks, acts, lives. That is what's most important. The
Well, and
rest,
sometimes the easiest way to see the light is in the darkness.
yes,
So even when someone's being crazy,
yeah,
over the top, and if you can see the light in them, then
yeah,
we're reflections of each other. We're mirrors. Then they can see it in them. And then that's a really easy way to connect.
yes. Yeah. And it's to understand that as well. What is the good in everyone? What can we
Yeah.
find? And we all coming from the light. And if the
Yes.
darkness is there, it's because the light has been covered up. How do we now uncover it so that everybody and everything has that light shining from them? Oh, Laura, so what? So as we said, your trauma therapist. What else do you do?
Well, I have a podcast too.
Mhm.
And it is really to support people on their journey of life. So it's
Mhm.
not telling people what to do. It's not 4 steps. It's not any of this. It's just really connection and support. So that no matter what you got going on, you got somebody to talk to if you need to. You got some guidance if you need to, because everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
There's not a stair step program. It's just community. That's it. So it's what you want it to be. If you participate, then you'll get something out of it. In fact, you actually have to participate to be there. It's a free group, but the cost is your participation. We
Yeah.
don't have lurkers. We don't have looky loos. You got to participate, and that's really where my heart is right now because I think it's what we're all in need of and what we're
Yeah.
missing.
Definitely. And how do people connect with you? How do they connect with your group? How do they connect with what you're doing if they want to know more?
I have a link tree and it's Laura Giles. So all of my websites are there.
Okay. And you have your group. You have that. Have you done any books, or do you do any retreats or anything?
I do. So we're going to Alaska next month, which is not necessarily known as a spiritual destination, but we actually go to England quite a lot. I love England. I love Peru. Yeah. I love Egypt. We do places that are on the Rainbow Serpent line or
Mhm.
the Earth's ley lines. Those are my favorites. But we do retreats. We do silent retreats. We do pilgrimages. We do all kinds of things. And it's really about, it used to be more about the places. Now it's more about the connection because every place is a sacred place.
Yeah.
And if your heart is open, then that's where the magic is. So it's really about that, being with wonderful people and having some good food in a beautiful place and seeing what magic can happen.
Yeah. And opening your heart, and as you
Yes.
said, being with lovely people, and that makes you relax, where
Yeah,
you can trust, let go,
that's right.
and let that magic happen.
Yeah, it's not prescriptive. It's not like where you go to a treat and 9 o'clock is yoga and then we do this and then we do that and then we have the lecture. It's not that. I
Mm.
think that we all have magic and wisdom. And even the younger you are, the more sheltered, whatever, your life has given you something to contribute. So it's space to bring that out and to feel and hear your own wisdom and to share it with other people. So it's not traditional at all. It doesn't come from a head space, it comes from a heart space.
Heart.
Yeah.
Love. I like that. I like that very much. Laura, before we say goodbye, and thank you for your time and sharing your knowledge and your journey, what gold nugget would you like to leave to help those who are listening?
I would just like to tell everybody that they already have what they need. There's nothing out there that's going to make you more whole or better, or you don't need to make a certain amount of money. You don't have to have that plastic surgery. You don't have to lose any weight at all. You're already whole. You just have to open your heart and know that it's there. I promise you.
Laura, thank you so much for that. And that comes from time and time again. And when I have my guests like yourself, and we all say the same thing, it is already within each and
Yeah.
every one of us. It's just that it's been covered and hidden, and it needs to
Right.
be opened up, and to have that confidence in yourself and to take that first step in that journey.
Yeah.
Laura, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for, because you're in Virginia. Say hello to Virginia for us. Now, what time is it in Virginia at the moment?
It is almost noon.
Okay, so with us, if it's almost noon, so it's you're 5 hours behind us because it's nearly 5 o'clock in the afternoon for us. Still a little bit overcast, but it's warm. So from London, here in our, I can't say sunny, in our warm climate, and that's the most important thing. It's warm. It's warm. I'm going in my garden. I go in my garden with all my plants and my trees. And as I'm sitting here, I'm looking, it's lovely. and I say to you, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. And for all those who are listening, I hope you will make a connection with Laura. I will put up her website on the write-up. But for now, thank you all. Thank you, Laura. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.